Today, we're continuing our deep dive into self-development with another powerful episode in our ongoing Stoicism series. If you're new here, or happen to miss the last one, don't worry, you can catch up through the playlist that'll pop up at the end of this video. But before we begin, remember, these lessons aren't just philosophical curiosities or abstract ideas. They're a living, breathing practice, a way to reshape your daily life from the inside out. So if this content resonates with you, go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button, and let us know you're with us by dropping a "keep it up" in the comments. Your support fuels this journey. Now, let's cut through the noise. We're not here to dust off some old scrolls and nod thoughtfully. We're here to discover how Stoicism can be your personal cheat code for navigating modern life. We'll explore how to shift your mindset about money, find purpose in your daily habits, and train your mind to stay grounded in what truly matters. Ever wondered, can money really buy happiness? Or, how do we find joy in the process, not just the prize? And what timeless lessons can we draw from the great minds who came before us? As Seneca once said, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. So if you're ready to declutter your mind, simplify your lifestyle, and unlock the real power of Stoic wisdom, then let's embark on this transformative journey together. And remember what Marcus Aurelius taught: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Lesson 1. A morning ritual, your daily dose of awesome. Let's talk mornings. And no, we're not talking about that frantic, coffee-fueled scramble where you're half-dressed and already late. We're talking about something different, something intentional, a mindful morning ritual that gently launches your day with clarity, calm, and confidence. Think about it. How often do you smash the snooze button, hoping for 5 more minutes of sleep, only to wake up groggy and already behind? You rush through breakfast, if you even eat at all, and sprint out the door, stressed and unfocused. But what if your mornings could be different? What if, instead of chaos, you began each day with a ritual that nurtures your body, calms your mind, and centers your soul? The ancient philosophers knew the answer. Aristotle believed that the early hours set the tone for everything that follows. He advocated for starting the day with reflection, movement, and study, principles that still hold true in our modern world. So how can we build a morning ritual that works for us? 1. Rise and shine, mindfully. Instead of snoozing, try waking at the same time each day. Even on weekends, this consistency balances your natural sleep rhythm. As soon as you wake, take a few deep breaths, stretch, and set an intention for the day ahead. 2. Hydrate and nourish. Drink a glass of water to reawaken your body. Then, eat a healthy breakfast, something with protein, good fats, and complex carbs. Skip the sugary pastries and give your body fuel that lasts. 3. Move your body. You don't need an intense workout. A brisk walk, gentle yoga, or even 5 minutes of stretching can lift your mood and boost your energy. 4. Feed your mind. Whether it's a few pages of a book, journaling, or quiet meditation, give your mind something meaningful to wake up to. As Marcus Aurelius once said, when you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. 5. Plan your day, review your calendar, set priorities, and outline what matters most. Just 5 minutes of planning can save hours of stress. And these aren't just theories. Real people live this. Many CEOs meditate to clear their minds before the storm of meetings begins. Writers swear by morning pages to unlock their creativity. Athletes use early workouts to prepare mentally and physically for the day's demands. So here's the truth. A morning ritual isn't about cramming in more tasks. It's about carving out sacred space, time to center yourself before the world pulls you in every direction. They say, win the morning, win the day, so take the time, find what works for you. Your mind, your body, and your spirit will thank you. And as the day unfolds, there's something equally powerful waiting for you at the other end of it. Let's talk about how ending your day with purpose can be just as transformative as how you begin it. We just explored how starting your day with mindfulness can transform the way you show up in the world. But what about how you end your day? Let's be honest, most of us race through our routines, power through the day, maybe sneak in a quick workout or catch up with friends, and then fall into bed, drained and already bracing ourselves to do it all over again tomorrow. But what if we didn't have to live on autopilot? What if the end of the day wasn't just a time to crash, but a chance to reset, reflect, and grow? The Stoics certainly thought so. Great thinkers like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius were strong advocates of daily self-reflection. They believed that reviewing our thoughts, behaviors, and emotions helped us develop wisdom and live with intention. As Seneca famously said, the unexamined life is not worth living. So how do we reflect in a way that's actually helpful, not overwhelming? Here's a simple 3-step method for your evening mental detox. Step 1. Replay the highlights. Take a moment to recall what went well today. What made you smile? What moments filled you with gratitude or pride? This simple act shifts your mindset toward appreciation and optimism. Step 2. Embrace the lessons. Now, think about the rough patches. What didn't go as planned? More importantly, what did those moments teach you? Remember, mistakes aren't failures, they're your greatest teachers. As Confucius said, our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Step 3. Make a small shift. Based on your insights, identify 1 or 2 tiny tweaks you can make. Maybe it's adjusting a habit, being more mindful of your tone, or simply committing to a better choice tomorrow. After all, even the longest journey begins with a single step. And this practice isn't just for philosophers in togas. In the real world, successful CEOs often keep a nightly journal to track progress and stay centered. Athletes use mental replay techniques to learn from each game or session. And mindful parents use bedtime chats to help their kids reflect, express gratitude, and grow emotionally. Here's the truth. A daily review isn't about dwelling on your flaws. It's about recognizing your growth, celebrating small wins, and gently guiding yourself to do better. Because the only constant in life is change, and when we use reflection as our compass, we navigate that change with more resilience, grace, and yes, wisdom. Now that we've explored how to end your day with intention, let's talk about something that consumes much of our energy and often clouds our clarity. Money, but not in the way you might expect. Some of the world's wealthiest individuals, like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, have pledged to give away most of their fortunes. Why? Because they've realized something profound. True wealth lies not in possession, but in contribution. It's not about what you have. It's about what you do with it. And you don't need to be a billionaire to live richly. In fact, studies have shown that after meeting our basic needs, more income doesn't equal more happiness. Surprising? Maybe not. People who focus on experiences, meaningful relationships, and personal growth often report deeper satisfaction than those chasing material gain. Here's the bottom line. Money is a servant, not a master. Used with wisdom, it can create joy, impact, and purpose. But if we let it rule us, it quickly becomes a trap. So, redefine what wealth means to you. Practice gratitude, spend with intention, and most importantly, give back. As Henry David Thoreau said so beautifully, wealth is the ability to fully experience life. Lesson 4. Push for deep understanding. Dive deeper than a scuba instructor. Let's shift gears. If money can't buy happiness, maybe wisdom can help us find it. So here's the challenge. Are you coasting on surface-level thinking? Or are you willing to dive deeper, beyond headlines, sound bites, and assumptions, to seek real understanding? In today's information-overloaded world, we're bombarded with tweets, news flashes, and opinions. But how much of it do we actually process? How much do we truly understand? Socrates once said, "I know that I know nothing." But that admission didn't stop him. It pushed him to ask deeper questions, challenge the obvious, and search for truth. That's the essence of deep understanding. It's not just about asking what, it's about asking why and how. It's about seeing the whole puzzle, not just the scattered pieces. So why strive for depth? 1. Critical thinking. When you dig deeper, you sharpen your ability to evaluate, question, and think for yourself. This is your compass in a world of noise and misinformation. 2. Empathy and compassion. The more you understand others, their motives, their pain, their context, the easier it is to respond with compassion instead of judgment. 3. Creativity and innovation. True insight often comes from going beyond the obvious. When you deeply understand a problem, you're more likely to find powerful, creative solutions. And in real life, investigative journalists uncover hidden truths to hold the powerful accountable. Scientists push past assumptions to discover new knowledge and change the world. Lifelong learners constantly challenge their thinking by exploring new perspectives and expanding their mental horizons. So how can you begin your own journey of deeper understanding? Ask questions, even simple ones, especially the ones no one else is asking. Challenge assumptions. Don't accept something just because it's common. Seek different voices. Listen to people who think differently than you. Look for connections. Go beyond isolated facts. See how the dots connect. And above all, be patient. Real understanding takes time, curiosity, and humility. The deeper you go, the clearer things become. As Aristotle once said, the ultimate value of life depends upon awareness and the power of contemplation. So don't just survive, seek to understand, dive deep, keep learning. And speaking of deeper truths, in the next lesson, we'll explore what it really means to win. Spoiler alert, it's not about the podium or the applause. Here's the trap. Chasing recognition can feel great in the moment, like a sugar rush, but it fades quickly, and what's left behind is often stress, anxiety, and burnout. As the philosopher Epictetus put it, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. True fulfillment doesn't come from what you accumulate. It comes from what you cultivate inside. So what's the alternative? It's called intrinsic motivation, the fire that burns from within. It's that quiet force driving you to learn, grow, and contribute, not for applause, but because it matters to you. As psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi explained, the most joyful, memorable moments in life don't happen when we're resting. They happen when we're stretched, challenged, and doing something deeply meaningful. So how do we shift away from external validation and reconnect with that inner spark? 1. Define your values. What truly matters to you? What principles do you stand for? Take a moment to reflect and write them down. These values are your compass, guiding you toward a more intentional, purpose-driven life. 2. Set meaningful goals. Don't chase goals because others expect them. Instead, create goals that align with your values, goals that excite you, challenge you, and make you want to jump out of bed in the morning. 3. Embrace the journey. Life isn't a race to the finish line. Don't be so focused on the outcome that you miss the beauty of the process. Celebrate small wins, learn from missteps, Savor the ride. 4. Find your flow. Flow is that magical state where time melts away. You're fully immersed, fully alive, whether it's writing, painting, coding, or problem solving. Find the activities that light you up and make you forget the clock. And in the real world, an artist might paint not for praise, but for the joy of creation. A scientist might dive into research not for prestige, but to uncover truth. A volunteer might give their time freely, driven by compassion, not recognition, because in the end, the only prize worth winning is inner fulfillment, the deep contentment of living in alignment with who you truly are. As Confucius wisely said, the superior man understands what is right, the inferior man understands what will sell. So forget the podium, forget the applause, embrace the journey. That's where the magic lives. Lesson 6. The power of a mantra, your pocket-sized personal powerhouse. Now that we've centered on inner motivation, let's talk about one of the simplest but most powerful tools to keep that focus strong. The mantra. We're not just talking about chanting in a candlelit room, unless that's your thing. We're talking about harnessing the power of words. Intentional, affirming, and focused, to shape your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Think of a mantra as your internal coach, a mental anchor, a pocket-sized pep talk. Used wisely, a mantra can help you stay centered during chaos, stay confident during challenges, and stay clear about your purpose. And this isn't some new self-help trend. Mantras go back thousands of years, rooted in ancient Hindu and Buddhist traditions. The Buddha himself said, "All that we are is the result of what we have thought." The mind is everything. What we think, we become. So how does a mantra work? 1. Focus and clarity. Repeating a mantra helps quiet the mental noise. It narrows your attention, clears distractions, and brings you back to center. 2. Positive affirmation. The words you repeat shape what you believe. Over time, your inner dialogue transforms, and so does your mindset. 3. Emotional resilience. In moments of stress or anxiety, a grounding mantra can act like an anchor, calming your system and restoring your sense of control. 4. Motivation and purpose. A mantra can be your daily reminder of who you are and what you're working toward. It reignites your commitment, even when the path gets tough. Let's look at how this plays out in everyday life. The athlete repeats, "I am strong, I can do this," before the big game. The entrepreneur starts each day with, "I am building something meaningful." The everyday hero whispers, "I am enough, I am grateful, I am here," when life gets loud. A well-chosen mantra isn't just a phrase. It's a mindset, a belief, a promise to yourself. And coming up next, we'll explore how to create your very own mantra, and how to use it to unlock deeper focus, courage, and calm in your everyday life. Take entrepreneurs, for example. Many of them rely on mantras to stay motivated, especially when facing setbacks or uncertainty. They might say things like, "I'm building something meaningful, I'm creating real change," or, "This is my dream, and I will bring it to life." But you don't have to be launching a startup or training for a marathon to benefit from a mantra. Everyday heroes, people like you and me, can tap into this tool just the same. Phrases like, "I am enough," "I am loved," "I am grateful." These simple affirmations can anchor us when life feels overwhelming. So how do you create a mantra that truly empowers you? Step 1. Choose words that speak to your soul. Pick something that resonates deeply. It could be a quote from a philosopher, a lyric that moves you, or a line you write yourself. The key is, it must mean something to you. Step 2. Keep it short and sticky. A mantra should be easy to remember and easy to repeat. A few words are enough. Clarity always beats complexity. Step 3. Use it often. The more you repeat your mantra, the more it embeds itself in your mind. Say it during morning meditation, on a walk, while driving, or whenever you need a mental reset. Because at the end of the day, a mantra isn't just a string of words. It's a reminder of your strength, a key to resilience, a message from the best version of you. As the philosopher Lao Tzu once said, "Watch your thoughts. They become your words. Watch your words. They become your actions. Watch your actions. They become your habits. Watch your habits. They become your character. Watch your character. It becomes your destiny." And speaking of shaping our destiny, Lesson 7, the 3 areas of training, your trifecta for a kick-ass life. Let's talk about real personal growth. Not the kind that comes from scrolling motivational quotes, but the kind that transforms how you think, act, and live. The Stoics believed that a good life is built on 3 essential areas of training: desire, action, and assent. Sounds lofty? It's actually deeply practical, and it might just change the way you navigate the world. Let's break them down. 1. Training of desire. This is all about mastering your wants. It's not that desires are bad. It's that uncontrolled cravings can pull us away from what truly matters. As Epictetus said, it's not things that upset us, but our judgments about things. So it's not the craving. It's the attachment. Imagine you're hooked on social media, constantly scrolling, comparing, and feeling drained. Training your desire might mean limiting screen time, deleting distracting apps, or replacing those habits with something that genuinely nourishes you. 2. Training of action. This focuses on aligning your behavior with your values. Even when it's hard, Aristotle put it best, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Let's say you want to get fit, but struggle to stay motivated. Training your action could mean setting realistic goals, finding a workout partner, or celebrating small wins along the way. Every consistent effort builds your character. 3. Training of assent. This is the inner work, shaping your beliefs, thoughts, and mental focus. It's about choosing gratitude, challenging negative self-talk, and replacing fear with clarity. The Buddha taught, what we think, we become. So if you often tell yourself, I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, then guess what? That becomes your reality. But you can change that script. You can train your mind to see possibilities instead of limitations. And that shift can change everything. Why does this matter? Because in today's world, we're surrounded by distractions, temptations, and negativity. Without training, we drift, but with intention, we take the wheel. Coming up next, we'll explore how these 3 areas of training play out in real life, with practical tools to help you reclaim your time, your focus, and your inner power. Because let's face it, in today's noisy world, we're constantly distracted by temptations, expectations, and quick pleasures that pull us in every direction. It's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. But when we commit to training ourselves, to examine what we want, how we act, and what we believe, we begin to take back control. We cultivate clarity. We rediscover peace. We live more fully, more intentionally. These ancient Stoic principles aren't just philosophical ideas. They're a practical roadmap to a more meaningful life. And as Socrates so boldly said, the unexamined life is not worth living. So take the time, look inward, begin where you are, and with each step, you'll inch closer to a version of yourself that feels more whole. Lesson 8. Watching the Wise, your all-access pass to the school of life. Alright, friends, grab your mental notebooks. We're about to tap into one of life's greatest sources of wisdom. Those who've walked the path before us. No, we're not diving into dry lectures or dusty textbooks, though those have their place. We're talking about lived wisdom, the kind that comes from real experience, hard-earned lessons, and deep self-awareness. Think of the greats: Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. These weren't men who just sat around theorizing. They lived their philosophies. They paid attention. They asked questions. And they left behind a trail of insights for us to learn from. As Seneca said, associate with people who are likely to improve you. Welcome those whom you are capable of improving. Learning is a two-way street. We grow by observing, and by sharing what we've learned. So why should we watch the wise? 1. Accelerated learning. Why spend years making the same mistakes when you can learn from someone who's already been there? Studying the lives of the wise gives you a shortcut, a cheat code, to avoid common pitfalls. 2. Expanded perspective. We all have blind spots. Watching others helps us see from new angles, question our assumptions, and update our thinking. It's like upgrading your brain's software. 3. Daily inspiration. There's nothing like seeing someone overcome adversity or live out their purpose to remind us that we, too, are capable of more. The wise don't just teach, they inspire. Let's bring it down to earth with a few real-life examples. The mentored entrepreneur. Many successful business leaders credit their growth to mentors who challenged, supported, and guided them through tough decisions. The inspired artist. Artists often study the works of others, not to copy, but to spark new ideas and expand their creative range. The everyday role model. You don't need to be famous to make an impact. We can learn from a parent's patience, a teacher's passion, or a friend's resilience. So how do you start learning from the wise? Step 1. Identify role models. Who do you admire? Whose values, habits, or presence speak to you? Write down their names, and observe them closely. Step 2. Study their ways. Read their books, watch their interviews, follow their routines, pay attention to how they think, act, and speak. What patterns do you see? Step 3. Seek mentorship. If you have the chance, connect directly. This doesn't have to be formal. A coffee chat, a message, or simply asking for guidance can lead to powerful connections. Step 4. Reflect and apply. Learning without action is just entertainment. So reflect on what you've picked up, and apply it. Use it. Let it shape your next decision. Because watching the wise isn't about copying blindly. It's about absorbing insight, expanding your awareness, and using what resonates to shape your path. As Confucius said, we may learn wisdom in 3 ways. First, by reflection, which is noblest. Second, by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is bitterest. Learn through all 3, and you'll be well on your way. And speaking of wisdom, sometimes, the most powerful change we can make isn't to do more, but to simplify, and that's exactly what we'll dive into next. In the last lesson, we looked at the power of learning from others. How wisdom, when observed and applied, can quietly shape the way we live. Now, let's turn inward. What if the path forward isn't found by doing more, but by doing less? Lesson 9. Keep it simple. Declutter your life. Declutter your mind. Modern life is noisy. We're overwhelmed by choices, messages, tasks, and digital pings. We collect things, say yes too often, and keep adding to our already full plates. No wonder so many of us feel scattered, drained, and off track. As Socrates said, beware the barrenness of a busy life. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're moving toward what matters. Simplicity isn't about giving things up. It's about getting clear. It's about choosing what counts, and letting go of the rest. As minimalist writer Joshua Becker put it, simplicity is the intentional promotion of the things we most value and the removal of anything that distracts us from them. So how do we simplify in a world that constantly tells us to add more? 1. Declutter your space. Start small. Go through what you no longer use or need. Clothes, tools, books, furniture. When your surroundings are clear, your mind often follows. As the saying goes, outer order contributes to inner calm. 2. Simplify your schedule. Look at your calendar. Are you overcommitted? Are you saying yes to things that don't align with your goals? Learn to say no without guilt. As Greg McKeown writes, if it isn't a hell yes, it's a no. 3. Clean up your digital life. Unsubscribe, unfollow, close unused tabs. Limit your time online to what supports your values. As Cal Newport explains, digital minimalism means using technology with intention, not habit. 4. Focus on what truly matters. What are your top priorities? Write them down. Focus your energy there, on your relationships, your health, your craft. As Marcus Aurelius said, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself. Let's look at how people bring simplicity into their lives. Capsule wardrobes, fewer clothes, easier mornings, less decision fatigue, weekly meal planning, saves time, money, and stress, tech-free weekends, time to unplug, reconnect with loved ones, and rest the mind. In the end, simplicity isn't about sacrifice. It's about freedom. Freedom from clutter, from pressure, from distractions that pull you away from what matters. S.T.S. Eliot asked, where is the wisdom we have lost in knowledge? Where is the knowledge we have lost in information? Quote, by simplifying, we reclaim both. We've covered a full journey today. From early morning rituals to timeless wisdom. From mindset shifts to clearing mental space. But here's the key takeaway. Stoicism is not about reading more or knowing more. It's about doing. As Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. So, what kind of life are you building? What kind of person are you becoming? Start small. Choose one idea from today. Maybe it's setting a mindful morning routine. Maybe it's decluttering your space. Maybe it's choosing a mantra that keeps you steady. Whatever it is, start. Take that first step. The journey doesn't require perfection, only progress. Keep growing, keep learning, and remember, you're not walking alone. We're in this together. Now go forth and conquer.